Hey everyone, it's leftovers for dinner, and this big giant mess here means it's tie-dye day. Now if it weren't for a fatal camera error, we would have had a proper intro, but that didn't happen. So just gonna go ahead and pick up from where I left off. Today we are tie-dyeing with the Tulip one-step tie-dye kit. This is the Paradise Punch kit, which has purple, teal, and fuchsia in it. Now, as promised, we are tie-dyeing shoes today. We're also going to use the leftover dye to dye a couple of things that you wouldn't normally consider tie-dyeing. I've got two shirts that are colored. One is magenta-ish and the other is a failed tie-dye attempt, and I'm going to try to fix those or make them better using the leftover dye. Okay, now a little twist on my tie-dye shoes. Normally when you tie-dye something, you wrap rubber bands around it, or zip ties or cord or something. Can't really do that very well with tie-dye shoes. So I went and did a little bit of research and found on some very old blog written someplace references to a craft book that suggested to do the tie-dye effect, use spray containers, and also use a white crayon. Actually, here, this looks better. There, a white crayon. So I went and got some really cheap crayons from the dollar store, very, very cheap, and just scrawled in a design all over these shoes. You can't really see it on camera, but hopefully once we start tie-dyeing, the white crayon or wax will protect the area and you'll be able to see the designs I drew. Now this is the first time I'm doing this, so hopefully it works. Otherwise, you get to see my failure on YouTube. So let's go ahead and we're gonna get started. Okay, we've got our shoes, we have our design scrawled out in white crayon. Oh, and if you don't have a white crayon, you may be able to use emergency candles. So that's another thing. Just make sure it's either white or clear so that it doesn't actually stain the white shoes. These are actually from Walmart and I paid $6 for them and they're 8 wide. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Now, I have very limited experience with tie-dye, so I'm guessing I should probably start with the lighter color first. Let's go ahead and do that. I poured the magenta into the spray container and let's see, I'm gonna start, I guess, on the back. Again, make sure you're spraying over your protected work area. So let's see. Now because it's spray, it may not, oh, it's getting all over the place. It may not work as well, but it's actually working very well. It has a very cool spray effect, and it looks like I don't have to spray or use as much. You can just barely see the heart design I drew right there, and you can see that it's actually feathered out to the rest of the shoe. So I'm gonna set down the magenta and pick up the purple. I think this is the purple one. Let's hope so. And let's see, might take a couple of pumps. Yep. There we go. And it looks like the wax crayon is just barely protecting the area I don't want dyed. So it kind of works. Maybe if I used a different or better crayon. I should have gone cheap. That's kind of working. It does have a halo effect, so we're moving that out of the way. We're gonna try again. Oh. Huh, that's not too bad. You can see I wrote hi. And let's see. Oh, I kind of want a little more magenta. Oh, and let's blend that with some purple. And you can see a little bit more of the design is showing there. This shoe is almost done. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. I like it the way it is. And one more. There we go. So, oh, as the dye settles in to the fabric, you can kind of see where I protected it a little better. There we go. Oh, look, my triangles showed up. That's cool. So yeah, now if you want to get inside the tongue, you can. I don't really recommend it because it's getting a little too close to your sock. Now this is on dry fabric, because I use the wax crayon. If you want to try it wet, make sure, again, take the laces out and also take the insoles out. So we've got one shoe mostly done, and you know what? I don't care if they match or not. Oh, wow. I wrote "bye" on that one. Okay, this shoe is going to be a little darker unless I do something soon. So I'm going to hold it farther away. Okay, so the shoes are over there drying right now, or setting, letting the dye set to be more accurate. And the colors are actually popping a little more as they get into the fabric. Plus, my little silly designs are actually showing through. So maybe that wax crayon stuff has something to it. I'm gonna let these set and let basically the dye absorb a little more and then see how they turn out. If they're okay, I'm just gonna set them in the sun for a while. Now, since I have this leftover dye in the spray container, I can actually use it for my next project. If you have leftover dye, use it. Go a little tie-dye crazy. It doesn't hurt nobody, not even hippies. So I was going to use this, the bottled dye, but instead, I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to this for my little magenta fuchsia shirt. Now, the technique on the fuchsia shirt is the sunburst technique, which is really cool because they actually show you how to do that in the Tulip one-step tie-dye kit. There's the little guide has the instructions on how to do this. Basically, you just take rubber bands and you grab little bunches of fabric, twist them, and then apply the rubber bands. Now, some of my dye from the shoes got on this shirt, but you know what? It was gonna be a trash shirt anyways. I'm just trying to make it look a little cooler. So, just like that. Got another one right here. And let's grab this one and do it on this one. Now on this, I think the spray bottle may or may not work as good as just doing this. Now, since I wanted my dye to last, or, you know, spread across several pieces of clothing, I did basically wet all of my shirts. Wetting the shirts kind of makes the dye spread a little bit better. Who knows? So, you know what? Let's switch. There we go. The bottles, and just see what happens. I also want to try the scrunch method that was described. So we're gonna do that. And since I kind of just wanted a few colors on this shirt, we're only going to use the pink and the purple. Ooh, the purple is really thick. Maybe I should use the spray. Okay. Okay. So not only am I doing the little sunburst method, I'm also doing the scrunch method just to see how things turn out. And since this was already in the same color family as the magenta and the purple, it's actually providing a good base for the color blends. Now the cool thing is, this is actually extending the life of my clothes. This shirt had a tiny little grease stain on it, and I was like, oh man. But I don't have to throw the shirt out, and I don't have to go out and buy new clothes, because I've got this cute, cheesy little tie-dye shirt now. I have learned already that you do need to dye the back. So we're gonna turn it over. Okay. Okay. And let's scrunch the sides up. So pretty much these two projects are done. I'm gonna let them set for a while, and then I'm going to wrap them in their plastic wrap and put them in the sun to dry. I'll post an update and show you what the shoes and the shirt look like after they've been dried in the sun and after they've been cleaned again. Thanks for watching, and tune in as I do more of these little tie-dye videos.